Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another Fire Emblem Heroes summoning session. Today we have, at long last, the second full engage banner. Well, full in quotation marks. Technically it's only 3 of 4, but we have the new OC here. Unfortunately, that should have been male Alir's spot. At least Alir did actually get in, but he's going to be on the Mythic banner later this month, similar to Male Byleth, which is kind of unfortunate because I would have loved to spark a copy, even though we got a copy for free. I would have loved to spark for Alir, but alas, even so, after all this wait, we finally have our second engage banner. It is Brodia themed, and it looks very solid. In fact, I'd say for new heroes banners, this is at least in the top 3 of this year, if not maybe even the best one. It has 2 rearmed heroes, which automatically makes it super solid. So this is a really great looking banner. Real quick, let's go over who we've got here. Starting things off, we have our new OC, and she is our first Arcane Beast. She has this Arcane Beast weapon, which is for Cavalry Beasts, which means that I could potentially give it to Selkie and finally get around to investing in her, which I would really like. She also has the new Beast Sense skill, which removes the Beast Transform condition, which is something I hate about beasts, so I'd love to have that as well. And she has Alarm Attack Speed. She has a lot of speed stacking in her kit, which is nice. Would work nice for building up Selkie. The main issue is that I do need 2 copies if I want to get her weapon and the Beast Sense 4, since this doesn't build off of a pre-existing skill. So I'd need to get 2 copies of her to fodder for Selkie, but I'm kind of willing to do that maybe. Next we have Alcryst, who is also a rearmed hero, and funny enough, he's got this pretty good kit, but I don't have any archers who I really want to give this to. His bow does look very nice, and he of course has Deadeye, but I feel like most of my archers have things that they want to be doing already and they don't really need this stuff. And he also has Def Res Smoke, which is great, and then the new Flash Sparrow skill, which is a combination of Swift Sparrow plus Flashing Blade, which looks really good. But funny enough, I think that for Alcryst, I'd rather give his skills to other units who aren't archers, because my archers already have their kind of builds set up. Flash Sparrow in particular I think would be good for like Azura or Male Alir, which would be pretty nifty. I don't know if I want to go out of my way to grab Alcrysts to only give like 2 skills to units. We'll have to see, but he does look solid enough. Pretty nifty unit. And then we have Prince Diamant, also looking very nice, although his sword is a straight up lie. It's called the Fair Fight Blade, and it is not fair at all. It lets him start his turn with pre-charged bonfires and slap you in the face. It was very annoying in the story map, but his kit looks more or less what I was actually expecting Diamant to look like. Bulky defensive unit, middling speed, and ignore damage reduction. That's how I expected them to translate Fair Fight, which was his pref skill in Engage. I expected them to put it on like an A skill and make it just ignore damage reduction on both sides or something, but it's in his weapon instead. Still looks very solid, but I did expect him to come with Bulwark, so it's kind of funny he did end up having that. But he looks solid, but I don't desperately need him, but wouldn't mind having him. And then finally is Citrine, who looks okay. She's a Warp Mage, and she does annoying Warp Mage things. I'd rather have a build like that on Clan, so not super excited for her, but she is guilt-free Special Spiral 4 fodder, which is pretty nice if you didn't want to waste Ophelia's Rearmed Tome. Very nice to have another option for that. She also has Attack Res Oath 4, which not the best oath, but still pretty solid. Does that annoying Warp Mage shenanigans. But yes, very solid looking lineup. Again, the main unit is, funny enough, not the engaged characters. It's our Rearmed Beast, because I want those skills for Selkie. And I think I kind of want to try for 2 copies of her. So blue is our priority, Alcryst as backup, and then probably Diamant and then Citrine in that order. Again, I really wish that Eitr was on here because I would absolutely spark for Eitr and maybe try and work on merges for him. But unfortunately, that's not an option. I'm glad that he's in, but I'm just a little disappointed with the implementation of him. But yeah, we managed to hit almost back up to 900 orbs. I don't want to spend all of those because I do still want to save for the upcoming Brave Dimitri and Azura summons, but we're going to spend some on pulling for this fodder. And unfortunately, we don't have that blue to start with, but we'll go ahead and pull, I think, any colorless, any blue, because Alcryst would be great to have as well. Oh, well, fitting the engaged theme, we start with Etier, who probably could use Alcryst's bow pretty nicely. But yeah, this is a really cool banner. It's still a little funny that I'm going for the OC and not the actual characters that I like, but yeah, that fodder just looks really good for finally maybe making Selkie fun to play, because I love Selkie, but I don't really like her kit very much. So going for that Rearmed and fixing that would be very nice. And then Alcrysts could also be helpful for fodder. Again, like, I think Azura could use it very nicely, and maybe Eitr if I go for... I was thinking maybe Eitr could do a Gale Force build. I don't know if that's actually a thing with Eitr, but he looks like his weapon could work well enough for Gale Force as an initiator, so it's at least something that I'm keeping in mind. And speaking of Eitr, I'm not really sure what direction I want to take him, and I'm not even sure if I want to +10 this version, because, like I said, it's going to be inconvenient. He's debuting on a Mythic banner, which doesn't get a spark unless I have Fey Pass, and then he'll show up on, like, skill banners and stuff in the future, which also won't get sparks, so it's just going to be really clunky to try and merge him, and I'm not sure if I want to go all in on this version. Oh, we are getting a early 4-star special Ilger, which is not what we were hoping to see, but not bad by any means. Speaking of which, Lapis is also a direct demote, and she has Sorcery Blade, so I guess my Ilgers are losing a little bit of value that they just got from Sorcery Blade popping up. But still not a bad unit to pull. And what was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, Eitr, I really want to +10 Eitr, but I'm not sure about this version because of difficulty getting the merges, not being available on Sparks, because if he was on this banner, we'd get 1 copy from the Spark guaranteed, and then when it reruns, because this is absolutely going to win a rerun, I'd be able to pull a 2nd copy and get 2 copies guaranteed, which would go a long way towards making me feel comfortable investing in him. But yeah, there's a version of Eitr, I guess. Aranis as a relatively cheap 5-star. Didn't spend too much, not who I was hoping to see, but blue dual flying and attack dev frame. Yeah, I don't really need either of those. She's good fodder, but like there's no one I need it for. Cool, I suppose. Maybe I'll just give Sedith blue dual flying just for fun. Really wish that had been our Rearmed, but alas. But yeah, I guess minor spoilers, like this is really minor. It's literally in the opening of Engage, but I'll go ahead and put a spoiler warning here. I'll put something on screen. When that disappears, you can go ahead and mute this, and once the spoiler warning is gone, you can unmute. But spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1. I really want past Eitr with the full red hair. That we see in the intro and later in the story in the flashbacks and stuff. That's my favorite Eitr. That's my favorite version of him, and that's the one that I really want to +10. but it might be years for that, so I'm still at least considering base Lear. Anyway, spoiler warning done. Yeah, so basically I'm just unsure what direction I want to go with Lear, but I do think that this version could potentially make a decent Gale Forcer with Alcryst's new A skill, and then his innate charge ability and slaying. He could potentially use Gale Force pretty well, which would be fun. Just something I'm considering. So far, two blues, but not the ones that we were hoping to see, which is a little unfortunate, and no Alcrysts either. Oh, Lena, not who we are hoping to see. No, thank you. And last of our tickets, we've pulled a decent number of units, but we're only now finishing up the tickets, which is kind of funny. But come on, we need one goat. One goat. No, that's not a goat. But yeah, I'm hoping that we don't spend too many orbs on this, because I do still want to pull Dimitri and Azura, which is very fast approaching. And in fact, I figure when I do that, I'll go ahead and do another birthday Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for that summoning video that you want me to answer, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. Oh, double Elise, funny. Not helpful, but it is funny. But yeah, leave me any questions. I'm fine with like 1 or 2 questions. Try not to leave like a bunch of questions, just so that I have time to get to everyone's questions. But go ahead and ask me almost anything. Yeah, almost anything's on the table. But if you ask me about the stupid eggplant man, I'm not gonna answer. Okay, you already know. I'm just gonna nix that one right now. I'm not entertaining 20 questions about that. So, but yeah, almost anything else, go ahead and leave me questions, and I will answer those on the Azura and Dimitri birthday video. So, thank you in advance for anyone who leaves me questions. I just have fun doing that, and it's a fun thing to do for the birthday summons, because those longer summoning sessions, I tend to run out of things to talk about. So it just helps me have something to talk about while I do the polls. And since we're going for both Azura and Dimitri, I anticipate that being a fairly long summoning session. So it would be nice to have some topics to discuss. But despite going 2 colors here, we're not getting anything too thrilling yet, which is a little unfortunate. You know, we got Elgar, we got Aranis, but neither of them are super helpful. So come on, give us the goat, give us a 4-star special Selkie. Those would be great. This is not super great so far. Okay, 2 more blues. Come on. I'm trying to think if there's any other... Ascended Iden. And once again, I was very confused because she popped up and I was like, oh, it's a spring Iden. And I'm like, wait, that's not spring. I always think that this version of her is a spring unit because she's got all these flowers and everything. She looks very spring themed. I always mention that when I see her, but that's a pretty good pull actually. Plus attack is nice. DR near save, I could save that for someone, maybe Dedu. Do I have DR save for him? I'm not sure, I'll have to check. But if not, I'll just merge her. I do actually use my Iden a decent amount. Not my most used save unit, but definitely one of the better ones, so pretty okay with that. A pretty nice off-focus pull, but again, still would rather have the goat lady. Oh, speaking of, here she is. There we go. That's a little better. Thank you. All right, so now we can guarantee get both the skills for Selkie if we have to go to Spark. So Eitr. Yeah, she's a speedy beast. What a concept. But we can get probably her alarm attack speed and the weapon are what I will prioritize. But again, we're going to try and get that second copy so that we can grab Beast Sense 4 and put her whole kit on Selkie. Then we just need to give her an A skill. So there we go. That's a pretty good wheel there, actually. All right, so that was a nice wheel. So we just need one more, and again, wouldn't mind getting Alcryst to have his fodder as an option. Won't necessarily push for it though, and oh, that is a female Chris, right? Nice, spurn fodder. I could put that on Alir. He already comes with the repel, but I technically could give him spurn. Yeah, not a bad pickup, not a bad pickup. But yeah, Alcryst's fodder would be great to have on hand. Not necessarily going to push for it because I'm not sure if that's the direction I want to go with, like Alir or anything. And this banner actually does have a double spark too, which is something I forgot to mention. You can spark twice on this banner, but if I really decide that I want to spark Alcryst as well, I think the best choice would be to come back at the end of the banner after I already pulled my Azura and Dimitri merges, because that's a bigger priority for me at the moment. And then if I have orbs left over, then I could go for that Alcryst. But for now, just going to focus on getting that beast fodder for Selkie. And if we get Alcryst on the way, then that's great. If not, then no big deal. I have other options for Azura. And again, I'm not even sure that I'll be investing heavily in this version of Alir. So we'll have to see. But yeah, the double spark would have been great if Alir was on this banner, because I would have pulled for the beast fodder and Alcryst and Alir, and then probably gotten at least one of Alcryst or one of the beasts, and then sparked Alir, and then I would have kept going and then sparked whatever I was missing at the end. And it would have been really great to be able to pull all three colors. And unfortunately, that's just not an option. But I mean, it is an option, but it's not something that I'm desperate for, because I'm not getting those potential Alir merges off of it. So it's just not really a huge priority for me at the moment. All right. Just a few orbs, just a few to go. Still going to have over 700 going into the big summoning session, which I'm very glad about. Would have been nice to have even more, but this banner is just a little too tempting, so gonna get that wonderful fodder and finally have a chance at building up my girl Selkie eventually, which I've desperately wanted. I love Selkie, but what they keep doing with her in FEH just makes me sad. Dorothy, I forgot that she was another demote, and I think she probably could use Alcryst's bow as well. I know her stat line is actually really good, but I'm not particularly interested in building her, so getting a new unit for Dragon Flowers is nice, but other than that, not terribly excited. Oh, we are at Thracia 776 orbs. Very nice. Speaking of, actually, on Alcryst, I ran him with Leaf's Ring. So that's just kind of fitting, I guess. Leaf's Ring, not the most exciting emblem ring, but it did come in handy a few times. It was nifty to be able to have Alcryst attack someone and then automatically swap to like a mini bow and finish someone off when they were weakened. So that was cool. But yeah, Leaf's Ring, not my favorite of the emblems by any means, but here we are, almost done. Come on, give us an Alcryst. One Alcryst. Nah, that's not Alcryst. Boo. Boo. Speaking of Jacob, actually, still upset that there's no Arcane Dagger. Really sad that they're doubling up on weapons, but Green Tomes, Daggers, Staffs, and Blue Tomes are all still waiting for their Arcanes. But hey, maybe we'll see more double rearmed banners in the future, and maybe we'll get through some of these missing weapon types a little faster. That would be nice. Emerin. Okay. So no Alcryst, but here we go. One last blue. If we get our beast here, then we can spark Alcryst, but if not, we'll just go ahead and take her. Yeah, just a Subak. So we'll go ahead and take our Beast Trace skill. And there we go. There we go. And we got another Celestial Stone, so that's not bad. Yeah. So yeah, that didn't go as well as I was necessarily hoping, but we did end up with 2 copies of our main target. No Alcrysts, sadly, but still, overall, pretty solid. We got some nice off-focus units, so can't complain by any means. Spent a little more than I would have liked, but overall, went pretty well. So anyway, yeah. As a last reminder, go ahead and leave any questions you have for the big birthday summon Q&A down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Best of luck to you guys on your summons, especially if you're going on this banner. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. And until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon, signing out.